news tonight, a Roman Catholic priest at the center of a sex abuse scandal is charged with raping a child. The Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, now that he's out of his prison, what can the Israelis expect? He talks to Ted Koppel. The government says today that seat belts for children on a school bus may actually be a danger to them. A new generation about to retire, and they will be worse off than their parents were. We'll take a closer look at some dire projections. And this is the Robo-Rat. Is he a search and rescue rat for the future? Technology on the cutting edge.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We begin this evening with another major development for the Roman Catholic Church. The church has been consumed by scandal for much of the spring. And today in San Diego, police arrested a priest, one Father Paul Shanley, who is charged with repeatedly raping a young boy in Massachusetts. The significance of this, beyond the case itself, has to do with the troubled Archdiocese of Boston. The powerful cardinal there, Bernard Law, is accused of concealing information about Father Shanley's crimes. ABC's Ron Claiborne begins our reporting tonight from Boston. Ron?
Peter, it was believed that Father Shanley was out of the country this last month since abruptly leaving his home, but this morning he was taken into custody at his home in San Diego.
Father Shanley.
The charges against Father Shanley are the first to be brought in the Boston Archdiocese, where nearly 90 priests have been accused of sexual abuse. Officials would not identify the victim, but Greg Ford says he was one of several boys abused by Shanley at St. Jean's Parish in suburban Boston in the 1980s.
It would be removed from the class. The priest would take them to one of three locations: to the bathroom, often across the street to the rectory, or to the confessional, and that is where the sexual abuse would occur.
Ford's parents say Shanley is finally being held accountable.
Today is a very big day for us, but it's only the beginning. And we will continue to seek the truth for all the victims and their families.
Today's arrest could lead to new calls for the resignation of Boston's Cardinal Bernard Law. Recently released church documents showed that Cardinal Law assigned Shanley to local parishes and later sent him to California, despite years of complaints that Shanley was molesting boys. Also in the documents is a letter by Law's predecessor, Umberto Medeiros, about a blackmail threat that Shanley allegedly made in the 1970s to try to keep his job at a youth ministry.
He's the key to part of the pattern of why this happens not only in Boston, but across the country.
Tonight, the Boston Archdiocese said it hopes that Shanley's arrest will bring relief to those who've been abused. Church officials said they would continue to cooperate with law enforcement.
Peter, prosecutors in Massachusetts say they will move immediately to extradite Father Shanley from San Diego so he can stand trial here on 3 counts of rape of a child.
Thank you, Ron. Ron Claiborne in Boston. The Secretary of State said today there's going to be a Middle East peace conference early this summer, which would include, presumably, the Israelis, the Palestinians, as well as the U.S., the Russians, and the Europeans, with whom Mr. Powell met today. In the Middle East today, all eyes were on the Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. It was just about this time last night when the Israelis lifted their siege of his headquarters in Ramallah. Here's ABC's Gillian Finley.
He emerged to the cheers of his people, and then Yasser Arafat wanted to be everywhere. He met with school children, with old friends. This one couldn't hold back his tears. At a hospital, he comforted the wounded, said prayers for those who had died. At one point, he noticed a home damaged in the fighting. With television cameras rolling, Mr. Arafat was soon helping to repair the walls. But some of the worst devastation was to be found at Mr. Arafat's own compound. All day, Palestinians came here to see for themselves the trashed offices, the living quarters.
This is what happened to the Palestinian Authority's fleet of official cars. The Israeli army crushed them systematically, the Palestinians say, and this is all that's left.
At the bottom of the pile, an armored Chevy Suburban, according to Palestinian officials, a gift from President Clinton. Several hundred people waited out Israel's siege with Mr. Arafat, including 40 international peace activists. For more than a month, they camped out in this boardroom, sharing what little food there was.
It smelled bad. The toilets were horrible. We slept in very tight quarters. But like I say, the solidarity and the morale was relatively high.
Today, morale was sky high, but it's not clear how long that will last. In downtown Ramallah today, a demonstration against Mr. Arafat, Palestinians who say that turning over those 6 prisoners was treason. And the Israelis have made it clear that Yasser Arafat's freedom is not guaranteed. Gillian Finley, ABC News, Ramallah.
ABC's Ted Koppel had the first interview with Mr. Arafat very shortly after Israeli troops withdrew from Ramallah.
We were half led, half dragged into the building by some of Arafat's top aides. Are you planning to go to Jenin?
Definitely. I have to go to Jenin. I have to go to Nablus. I have to go to Hebron. I have to go to Bethlehem. I have to go everywhere who had been destroyed. I have to, and attacked. I have to be there.
So in these next few days, you will go...
Definitely, it is my duty.
You will go to all
if they would permit me to go out.
Right.
But I don't know how they had accepted for you to come in till now.
There's nobody out there anymore.
This means that they had left?
The Israelis have left.
Okay.
So you
We can go together.
In Bethlehem today, a group in solidarity with the Palestinians, including some Americans, were able to get into the Church of the Nativity despite the siege by Israeli soldiers. ABC's John Yang reports tonight from Bethlehem.
The activists dashed across Manger Square. 13 were detained by Israeli forces. 10 made it inside. One of them is Christian Schur of New York.
They were eating a lunch of leaf soup, like water with leaves from a tree inside the walls of the church area. Pitch dark, of course, besides the candles. There's no electricity.
Earlier, Israeli snipers shot and killed an armed Palestinian as he walked in a church courtyard. That was just hours after the fire that broke out in the compound during an exchange of gunfire. Israeli army officials admit their own flares may have started the fire. Several rooms and offices in 2 monasteries were damaged. The fire never reached the Church of the Nativity itself. With Yasser Arafat a free man now, this is the last remaining flashpoint between the Israeli army and the Palestinians. And no more talks are scheduled to end the standoff. John Yang, ABC News, Bethlehem.
One item today about the Jenin refugee camp to which Mr. Arafat referred. The international human rights organization Human Rights Watch said today the evidence suggests that the Israeli army committed war crimes in the military operation there, but the group, which has been studying in the camp for several days, found no evidence to support claims that the army massacred hundreds of Palestinians. There'll be more on the Middle East this evening later on Nightline. Now, domestic news today, the government has come to some surprising conclusions about seatbelts on school buses, at least surprising to those who think that seatbelts are always a good thing. ABC News has obtained a report about this by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA. 10,000 students a year are injured in school bus accidents, and the debate has raged for years. Would mandatory belts make a difference? Here's ABC's Lisa Stark.
Here's the way it is now. The federal government requires lap-only belts in the smallest buses and no belts at all in larger school buses. David Brzezinski believes a restraint could have saved his 9-year-old daughter, Christine, who died when a gravel truck smashed into her Minnesota school bus.
My daughter died on a school bus because she was thrown out of her seat, and she was thrown side to side, and her head was crushed.
The government tested different seat belts. It found lap belts, the only kind of seat belt now in school buses, do not improve safety and could be dangerous. But that lap shoulder belts, which are mandatory in cars, could benefit school children by reducing head and neck injuries. ABC News has learned the government will propose putting lap shoulder belts in smaller, more vulnerable school buses, but not in larger school buses.
Lap shoulder belts have proven to be the best technology for every other kind of motor vehicle. Why wouldn't it be the best for a school bus also?
The government must consider cost. NHTSA says the restraints would save only 1 life a year at a cost of $120 million a year to outfit new buses. but there's no estimate on injuries prevented.
Prevention costs, but injuries cost even more. And I think it's important for children to get the message that you buckle up in whatever motor vehicle you're traveling in, including school buses.
States are awaiting NHTSA's report to decide what to do about seatbelts in school buses. Only one, California, is poised to require lap shoulder belts on all new buses. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
Now, in the national briefing tonight, the Attorney General says that he is ordering prosecutors to speed up investigations and trials of accused identity thieves. He says almost 700,000 Americans have their identities stolen every year. The IRS warns of a scam in which fake tax forms are used to steal access to bank accounts. In New Mexico, air tankers dropped a fire retardant on a wildfire which got out of control. Police say the man who accidentally caused the fire has killed himself in remorse. 11,000 acres are burning, and the governor has declared a state of emergency. A study by the insurance industry says today that surveillance cameras in Washington, D.C. do prevent speeding in some places. Where the cameras went up, speeding went down by almost 90%. And the dog who survived 24 days at sea alone, Huck Get, was abandoned on a tanker in the Pacific after a fire disabled her ship. The Hawaii Humane Society airdropped food to her while she was stranded. She was front page news for days. The Coast Guard rescued her and the tanker. When we come back, we're going to take a closer look at a study that says more Americans will not be able to retire in comfort.
The reality is that we're not going to be able to perhaps retire in the manner or the style, okay, that we were hoping for.
Making an animal move by remote control, wired into its brain, technology on the cutting edge tonight. And at the end of the broadcast, the new Great Wall of China, 7'5", and coming, perhaps, to a court near you.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Pepsid Complete.
You're just begging for heartburn, aren't you?
What are you doing?
Forget about these. Here, Norman turned me on to Pepsi Complete.
And?
And I tried one. One. That's all it took.
One?
Mm-hmm. Complete works fast like those, but lasts like those. Just one controls acid all day.
Lasts all day.
Nothing else like it. Where are you going?
Sausages, anyone? Pepsid Complete. Just one, and heartburn's done.
Using the wrong waterproofer can cost you thousands. Don't be taken for a ride. Demand Thompson's Water Seal. It has the highest level of water protection, guaranteed. Powerful original, new advanced Thompson's Water Seal.
You see a countryside without phone lines. At Franklin Templeton, we saw an opportunity to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Uncovering hidden opportunities like this requires a unique perspective, one that has made Templeton a pioneer in global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
If the woman you'll be in 20 years could talk to the woman you are today, she'd say, take care of yourself now. With new Bayer Women's Aspirin Plus Calcium. It has calcium to help fight osteoporosis and low-strength aspirin to reduce the risk of another heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women. So talk to your doctor about new Bayer Women's. And years from now, you'll tell yourself, thank you.
Aspirin's not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer, take it for pain, take it for life.
Starting to feel a little cramped by your present surroundings? RE/MAX can help you find a new home while selling your current one to someone who'll find it absolutely perfect. If you're looking for outstanding results, look for RE/MAX.
Sunday night, the Cubs battle Eric Karros and the surprising Dodgers. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel. Cubs-Dodgers this week at 8 on ESPN.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the disappointing outlook for a new generation about to retire. A new survey from the Economic Policy Institute projects that 40% of adults between 47 and 64 will have only half their pre-retirement income when they retire, and 20% of future retirees are expected to be at or below the poverty line. Alarming news for a great many people, and ABC's Betsy Stark has an explanation.
Well, Peter, more and more the burden is on individuals and not their employers to provide for their retirements. And today's study comes to the grim conclusion that many individuals are unable to fund what should be golden years. Frank and Louise Bonaquisti know they will not be able to afford the retirement they wanted.
We did the smart things, and unfortunately, the smart things were not good enough.
Frank's Navy pension of $25,000 a year seemed adequate 15 years ago. Today, it's barely half his income. He hoped to supplement his pension with the $500,000 he'd saved in his 401k. But that lost half its value when the stock market collapsed.
$87.95, 15 by 1,000.
I didn't expect this at all. So we are not where we thought we were going to be.
What's most alarming about today's study is that Americans' nest eggs shrunk even during the stock market boom. Between 1983 and 1998, when the Dow Industrials rose 777%, the median retirement wealth of Americans fell 11%, from $197,000 to $175,000. Some simply didn't save enough. Others invested their savings badly. The bottom line, according to the study, is that the shift away from company-managed pension plans to self-managed 401ks has hurt many people.
I think people are really trying hard to save for retirement. They often just simply do not have the means to do so. And I think the situation will only get worse.
54-year-old Karen Zarki says her retirement savings, about $100,000, have taken a backseat to putting 4 children through college.
There was just always something that was more important than putting that money away in a savings account.
Karen Zarki, by the way, is one of the 25% of Americans without a traditional company pension or a 401k. For these people, retirement is what they can save on their own and what they'll get from Social Security. And Peter, as we've reported before, it is very tough to retire just on Social Security.
Very tough indeed. There are many resources online that people can look at. They at least help people plan more effectively for their retirements. Those you saw in Betsy's piece, that doesn't necessarily work. But our website, abcnews.com, is an interesting place to go. When we come back, the remote-controlled rats, tonight's technology on the cutting edge.
Heartburn?
Yeah. Any of you not hard or chalky? No.
I'm not.
New Maalox Soft Chews.
I'm soft and chewy. Not hard and chalky.
Softy. Try fast new Maalox Soft Chews.
The more you live, the more you love, the more you laugh. The more a bladder control issue shouldn't hold you back. Discover Serenity Slender. A breakthrough creates 3 layers of protection. The core of super absorbers keeps you drier in our thinnest design ever. Even the leading Maxi doesn't come close to letting you feel this free. Serenity Slender. More protection, less pad. Now that's more you.
I take batting practice. I take infield practice. I take Viagra.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? Ask your doctor if a free sample's right for you and visit Viagra.com for more information.
Step up to the plate and make an appointment to see your doctor.
2, for generations, we Bushes have kept the family recipe for our baked beans a secret. Roll that beautiful bean footage. We slow cook our beans with a special blend of herbs and spices, according to our secret family recipe. And here it is. 3 generations of Bushes are counting on us to keep it a secret.
You can trust me, Jay.
I know, boy, but I'm not taking any chances.
Ah, that hurts.
Try Bush's country-style baked beans.
Even people who seem alike can have different nutritional needs. Ensure helps meet those needs. Like Ensure Plus, with concentrated calories for energy and extra protein. It's a source of complete balanced nutrition. Ensure Plus. Drink to your health.
Got an itch? Scratching tears up skin. Maximum Strength Lanacaine saves your skin from scratching with maximum anti-itch medicine and antibacterial to help kill germs. Lanacaine stops the itch, saves your skin.
I didn't know about today's
purple pill called Nexium.
But I spoke to my doctor.
And now I do.
Call this number for more information and a Nexium free trial offer. Nexium, today's purple pill.
Do you know about it?
Tomorrow, should it take a world war for a woman to be hired in a job meant for a man? It did back then. What Rosie the Riveter did for women in the workplace on World News Tonight.
A report today in the journal Nature says that scientists have succeeded in getting rats to follow commands by putting electrodes in their brains. The scientists say that these so-called rat bots, robots, rat bots, could one day be used to reach places that are inaccessible to humans. ABC's Ned Potter tonight with technology on the cutting edge.
Say the word robot, and most of us think of machines, very complicated ones. But John Chapin and his fellow scientists thought of something different.
This began about 2 years ago.
Lab rats, wired to get signals by radio from a laptop computer.
They are stars in terms of their ability to get through various types of terrain.
Chapin's group strapped a small radio receiver on the rat's back with 3 electrodes running into its brain. One on the left side, one on the right, and one for the part of the brain that controls pleasure signals. If you press one key on the computer, the rat would get a radio signal telling it that there is something off to one side and it ought to turn. If it did that properly, you would press another key and the rat would get a signal giving it pleasure as a reward. Many people object to such experiments on animals, but Chapin says the rats never felt pain, still controlled their own muscle movements, and could someday do useful work, such as finding people buried in the rubble at a disaster scene.
Why couldn't we put a squad of search and rescue rats on an airplane and fly them there? In an hour, they'll be on the ground and they'll be out there searching for people under the rubble.
Most of us are anything but pleased to see a rat. But if it's there to save you, you might feel differently. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
The rat controlled by a mouse, as someone said. When we come back this evening, the height of fame. 7'5", and about to be very famous.
Your lawn is being taken over by 2 kinds of weeds. With Weed Be Gone, one product gets rid of the lawn weeds.
But not the crabgrass.
The other one kills the crabgrass.
But not the lawn weeds.
There's got to be a better way. Bayer Advanced all-in-one weed killer for lawns. It kills lawn weeds plus crabgrass in just one easy step. And it won't harm your lawn.
2 kinds of weeds, one simple solution.
From Bayer Advanced, where better thinking always gives you better results.
Introducing Minute Maid Blends.
Good morning, Grandma.
Good morning, Timmy.
Minute Maid Blends with new orange strawberry banana and orange cranberry.
Now dig in. Your mom said to get a good, healthy breakfast.
Flavors even kids can't resist.
Lesson 1. It's important to manage the growth of a large breed puppy because a large breed puppy grows up to 10 times faster than a small breed puppy. His body can even grow faster than his frame and stress-developing bones and joints. That's why Purina One brand is scientifically formulated to help manage your large breed puppy's growth so his body doesn't outgrow his frame. Large breed puppy formula from Purina One. For a lean, active, and healthy dog, one can make a difference.
You're skipping over some of your favorite stuff. I get more gas than I used to.
Did you ever try Beano?
No.
Has this natural enzyme that helps prevent gas.
So I can eat?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to start over.
Prevent gas with Beano.
You choose to be healthy. You choose to be successful. You choose to give back. You choose to be yourself. The choices you want, the voice you need to make the most out of life. Today's AARP.
Next on K2 News, your money is safe in a bank. But what about personal information? See how local thieves get their hands on private documents. The cost of added security at Fort Vancouver could pay for 5 teachers. What exactly are they protecting? And thousands will help test Portland's ability to respond to a terrorist attack. Next.
Good Morning America's week-long road trip rolls into Massachusetts. From the USS Constitution to medical breakthroughs. We're even taking on that Boston accent in Boston tomorrow.
Finally from us this evening, the mounting anticipation in the basketball world. There's a new player from China in the United States this week. His name is Yao Ming, and he ducked into Chicago from Shanghai to display some of his formidable skills. He's expected to be one of the NBA's first draft picks next month, not without a few complications. Here's ABC's Dean Reynolds.
There aren't many people in the world who are 7.5 feet tall, and precious few of them are any good at basketball.
Yao's on offense.
But all this week, Yao Ming has been displaying skills that make NBA executives drool.
Very good shooter, has a very high skill level, appear to be a very good passer, and has a very good feel for the game.
Scouts and coaches are watching and wondering if Yao could be the NBA's next big thing.
The skills just jump out at you. He's very, very gifted.
He's only 21, but he's been dominating basketball in China, where he plays for the Shanghai Sharks. He's no slouch at scoring, averaging more than 30 points a game. And here's a shocker. He's the leader in rebounding and shot blocking. In his workout yesterday, Yao proved that while skipping may not be his thing, shooting definitely is. The short guy there is 7'2".
He's really good. He moves really well.
And Yao could wind up being a cash cow for the league and others.
There are a lot of advertisers in the United States who are lining up to be able to break into that Chinese market.
If, as expected, Yao Ming is drafted by an NBA team next month, he'll become an instant millionaire. But it appears China wants to be enriched, too.
Last month, Chinese basketball officials said Yao must hand over 50% of his NBA earnings, some of it to their league and the rest to various government agencies, or he may not get permission to play abroad.
They're trying to find some way to append themselves to Yao Ming, because it's not every day that someone from China, may end up earning $50 or $100, $150 million.
What Yao thinks about all this is hard to tell. He needs an interpreter because he speaks mostly Mandarin and says nothing to the press in any language.
Guys, get back.
But he's working on his English, and he's mastered a brief message for every basketball fan.
I'm next.
Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Chicago.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Thanks for joining us. Hope we'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tonight, Primetime goes undercover for a day of beauty to see if what's promised is too good to be true. Fancy body wraps, exotic facials.
So why is this mud any different than the mud in my backyard?
You can spend hundreds, but for what? Primetime tonight.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, a grand jury completed its hearing in a felony drug case against Damon Stoudemire. What's next for this well-known Blazer guard? Plus, we'll tell you why beginning today, people who steal your car, break into your business, or vandalize your home won't necessarily go to jail. And it's not exactly a target of terrorism, so why is the Army using your tax dollars to guard Fort Vancouver?
Live at 6:30, K2 News with Paul Lindman, Steve Dunn, and exclusive microcast weather with Rob Marciano. K2 and you, the new spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening. I'm Paul Lindman. And I'm Steve Dunn. First on 2 tonight. Earlier this week, Portland Trailblazer guard Damon Stoudemire was on court battling out in the playoffs. Next week, he'll be facing a battle of a different kind in criminal court. Today, a grand jury met to decide whether to
But most of all, they'll fight for each other.
I run the deuces. I don't back down from nothing.
The fight for John Little Jack.
I need all the guys. It's going down tonight.
I want you to make peace.
I can't do that.
Deuce is Wild. Rated R.